As per the template, in the next step, we'll have to define the main function. And in the main function, we'll have to use the conversation API. We'll have to set the instructions message, and we'll have to use a variable to define the tools. And here I have defined two functions. So one is fetch SQL customer info. This is the first function, and the second function is fetch all accounts for customer. So in the variable, we'll have to define both these functions. So let's do all these things one by one. And this is the main function, and I'll have to import OpenAI, and let's define the client at the beginning itself so that I don't have to pass the client variable all the time. So this is where I'm defining the client, and it should be enough. Now first is the conversation API. So it will create a conversation ID, and I'm storing the conversation ID in the conv_id variable. Next is the instructions. So I'll use this instructions variable maybe, and let's define a very simple instruction. I'll not be crisp and it will not be elaborative. I'm saying use function call as much as possible and respond with human readable text. So this is a very vague instruction. It is not crisp, it is not elaborative also. Why am I emphasizing on this instruction variable? Because this variable will be passed to all the responses API call, and it would play a very important role in calling the function. Okay, so two steps are done. In the third one, we'll have to define a variable which would contain the tools. So let's define it using the tools variable itself, and there should be two elements because we have two functions. We'll have to define both the functions inside of it. So this is an array. Inside of this array, we'll be defining two functions. Why two functions? Because I am using, or I have defined two functions. Now, if I remove one of the definition, then the large language model will not know about the function call. So let's define them one by one. We'll test with both of them first, and then we'll test with only one of them. This element contains the definition of the function, and this is how I have defined it. The type is function, then the name of the Python function. So this is fetch SQL customer info. If we scroll up, this is the name of the Python function that I have defined. Then the strict true, and using this, I'm instructing the large language model to make sure that the customer ID is passed. And inside of parameters, I'm defining the column name and what is the type of the column. Now, what this parameter should do, I'll come back to that shortly. But in the properties, I have defined customer ID, whose data type is string, and it is required, and the additional properties is false. Now, what would happen here? Why have I defined these parameters? So this is the definition of the tool, right? But see that I have not used description. The model should get confused. That is fine. That is the purpose of this. So what am I doing here is I'm telling the large language model that this is the name of the function, and we'll have to pass a parameter of data type string, and the name of the parameter should be customer ID. So if you are using this function fetch SQL customer info, get the customer ID from the user prompt and pass it to the function. Whenever you call the function, you'll have to pass this parameter or argument to the function. This is the purpose of parameters inside of tools. So this is the first function. Now let's define the second one also. And this is the second function definition. In the second function, I'm telling that fetch all accounts for customer. This is the name of the function, Python function that is. Strict is true, and parameter is similar to before because here also I have to pass the customer ID. So I'm instructing the large language model or the LLM to fetch customer ID from the user prompt and pass it to the function whenever this function call is made. Now see, I have defined both the functions here in the Python's main section. If I omit one of them, if I comment this out, then this function will not be visible to the large language model. I'll do that shortly, but before that, let us do a small test. I'll use the responses API and use an input prompt and to see which function is getting called or whether there is any function call or not. I will be keeping it simple. So I'll define the get user prompt here itself. Let's type prompt. Now after that, I'll have to make a responses API call. Now the responses API call would be just like before. I'll have to use the client.responses.create, and inside of this call, I'll have to pass multiple parameters. First would be the model name. Let's use GPT 5.4 mini. Then the instructions, which would be the instructions variable or the instruction variable. Then the conversation, which would contain the conversation ID. Then the tools, because I'm using the tools and the variable itself is tools, and then the input, which would be the prompt. Now I want to print the response output, but not the output text, just the output variable. So in this variable, you know that we can look at what is being called, what are the different things which are there. So let's see whether there are any function call or not. Also, it will give me an opportunity to discuss how the output would look like when you use the responses API with function call. So let's execute this, and I'm supposed to ask a question. And this is the prompt: provide details of customer 146502. It will not make any call, but it will tell us whether there is any function call or not. So you see, there's a function tool call. The arguments have been passed as customer ID. This is the call ID because whenever there is a function call by the large language model, it will provide us the call ID. And it is actually fetching the SQL customer info. And the type is function call. And these are very important variables. First is the arguments. What is the argument that is being passed? The call ID, which is used in multiple places. You have seen that in the template also. You will be using this call ID later on. Then the name of the function, then what type of call it is, whether it is a function call or not. This is the ID of the call, then the status, and a few other stuff, right? So we can see that it made a call to the function fetch SQL customer info. Now let's scroll a little bit more, and we see there is another response function tool call, and the argument is same, customer ID. The call ID is a little different, but now here it is using the other function, which is fetch all accounts for customer. I did not mention this. I did not ask the large language model to call this account. I did not provide any account information at all. I'm asking provide details of customer, so on and so forth. Even then, it is making calls for both the functions. So let's look at the function call. So let's print this one so that it would be easier for us to track. So there are multiple arrays, there can be multiple arrays. Let me stop it and execute it again. Now if I ask provide me customer details, I have not passed any customer ID. So this is the response output message. So there has not been any function call, right? So please provide me the customer ID so that I can fetch the customer details. So this is the output, this is the output text. So let's provide the ID here, maybe 148601. I'm just copying. So this is the customer ID. Now let's say how many function calls are there. We see there are two function calls. For both of them, the customer ID is 148601, which is correct. The call ID is different, but both the functions are getting called. One is fetch SQL customer info and the other one is fetch all accounts for customer. Both are function call. So this is a problem, right? It should not be the case. It should call only one function. It means that even though we have provided a proper name for the functions like fetch SQL customer info and fetch all accounts for customer, it is not calling the function which it's supposed to call. Let's ask get me account details of the same customer. Let's see whether it makes any call or not. Now you see there's a problem, there's an error saying that no tool output found for function call. So it is an invalid request error. So it was not able to find any function. So that's why it errored out. Now in the template I had shown you that if there are no function calls, then we have to make sure that the model responses using normal text. I have not done that yet, but I just wanted to show you how we can track the function call, and because it is a large language model, the text becomes very important. Now I will add a description in the tool definition here. So I've stopped the program. Now after name, I'll add a description. And this is the description. Customer ID is unique identifier for the customer. It is used to fetch customer details. Use it to fetch customer details. If user provides customer ID and asks to get details of customer, then use this function. Let me add something. If user does not provide, so this is what I have put. This is a very detailed and elaborative description of the function. Similarly, I'll change the instruction also. So the instruction was pretty vague, and I'm using this instruction. There's the first one. Use the function calls and respond with human readable text. There is no specific sequence of the function calls. Why am I mentioning this? Because the model might get confused that the first function has to be called first, then the second function has to be called next. So let me remove it and show you what do I mean. Let me just make it a little bit more vague. And here I'm saying use keywords like customer, account, loan, etc. to call the functions. That's it. And this is the instruction that I'm passing, right? And this is the description of the first function. Now let me provide a description of the second function also. So it is relatively a little large. It says for this function, customer ID is the most important column. Customer ID can be used to fetch all accounts of a customer. If user provides customer ID and asks to get all accounts for the customer, use this function and list all accounts in the output. The output would be a list of Python tuple. Consider each tuple as a single record. So it is just like instructing a developer. I'm saying that the output would be a Python tuple. So the LLM would know what a Python tuple is, and I'm asking the LLM to consider each tuple as a single record. Okay, so now let's do the same. Let's execute this and see what do you get. This is a different text. I'm asking to show me the customer details for 150185. So this is a function call. This is the argument call ID, and it has used only one function, which is fetch SQL customer info. That's it. Last time it had used both the functions, but this time it's only one function. So I'm saying show me the account details also. So it says that there is no output from the function call. So let's use a different prompt maybe. Okay, so I'm saying show me account details of customer 150185. It is a function call, and if you look at the name, it is fetch all accounts for customer. It is not using the other function, right? So let's use a prompt, show me details of customer this. Let's see which function is getting called. Okay, looks like there's some problem with the loop. Whenever I tried the next time, it is erroring out. Anyway, we'll fix this, but this is how you can play with the language that you use in the description, in the function name, in the instructions also. Of course, I'll change it. In the same step, I'll have to define the get user prompt. So I'll do that next, but make sure that the description of the tools are proper. So far, I have not called the Python function also. So I'll make a call to the Python function once I fix this code using a for loop or using another function.